let's watch the week that Britain froze.
The big freeze of 2018 from the Brecon Beacons.
I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee in America and I loved it.
In South Wales to the northeast of England, the biting easterly winds turned Britain into an outpost of the Arctic.
I keep going.
Many will never have seen conditions like it.
So this is my car window.
The everyday became the extraordinary.
Literally an ice sheet. Woo!
Yeah, you have to just break it from the inside so it goes out and doesn't go inside your car. Or you can try to scrape it or pour hot water on it, but it's easier to just get in the car and then slam the door. Hopefully it breaks and hopefully the ice will break a little bit and then you can poke it out.
Yeah, you got a sense of the scale.
From Scotland to southern England, from the east of England to Ireland, there seems to be virtually no county which is untouched. Even the crew that I'm flying with today say that they haven't seen such widespread blankets of snow up and down the country in nearly a decade, not since 2010.
All the way to the Arctic, where 18 miles up, it caused what scientists call sudden stratospheric warming. Normally, a low-pressure system called the polar vortex sits over the region with 150-mile-an-hour westerly winds trapping the icy polar air. But the waves travelling through the atmosphere flipped the winds, so they now flowed from the east. This caused the air in the stratosphere to collapse, squeezing together the air molecules, and the temperature soared by 50 degrees.
And as soon as the polar stratospheric vortex breaks down, those winds go, it acts like a break on top of the troposphere where our weather occurs. And as soon as that happens, then we get changes in the jet stream. Yeah, so what's happened is, as the sudden stratospheric warming's occurred, then the jet stream has slowed right down, and all this cold air suddenly starts to move slowly and towards the UK, across Europe. So we start to see all that really, really cold air from Russia coming towards us.
Basically, Siberian weather, because the polar vortex started to shift the other way, Siberian weather comes towards the UK. Jesus. That's crazy.
Roads quickly became treacherous.
Okay, this is making me a tad nostalgic because that's what roads in New Jersey look like in the winter. That, like, piled up snow on the side with the muddy, like, dirty snow in the road. This is what New Jersey winters look like, except we're not dragging trucks out. Although I could.
This was a heart-stopping moment for a driver in Edinburgh.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! No! No, 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 no!
Damn! Great driving by that bus driver. Wow. I've been in a car where it's like skidding around and stuff on the ice, and it's really terrifying. So I could only imagine, geez, thank God they're safe. Whew.
Others weren't so lucky. On the motorways, vehicles struggled to grip the slippery surface.
You can't get traction.
First slowing, and then coming to a halt. To stay indoors. But the snow came so hard and so fast that hundreds of cars got trapped. On the A303 in Wiltshire, drivers spent the night in their vehicles.
What can you see out of the window now? Are you stuck in a tailback, or is it just that your car just can't move because it's broken down?
Yeah, so luckily I'm in a 4x4, so we're at the bottom of a hill, and to the left is kind of stacked up with lorries. So there's only kind of really one road to go. So the cars in front of us who don't have 4x4 are getting stuck. So we're confident that we can move forward, but every time we get to a hill, a car in front of us gets stuck. So it's just a real mess.
My partner and I were talking about this like last month or something. We were talking about the weather patterns. We were just talking about how the cars here aren't made for any kind of extreme weather. All-terrain tires, so they're all year-round tires, so they are gritty in the, you know, in the winter and on the ice and then the wet weather. But also you can drive, you know, long miles on them in the summer and the dry roads. They change their tires in the winter, especially when they're in the north when it snows a lot. And they have like winter tires where they have, you know, they just have more tread on them and they have better grip on it. There's even a line of cars usually that has some kind of 4-wheel drive, you know, or something like that in them because of rough weather like this. So this is like, to me, this is all kind of like standard and normal. But the reason that's hitting you guys so hard and your cars, like he was saying, they don't have 4-wheel drive. They don't have a way to actually navigate through all of this terrain. So spend the night on the street, on the highway, Jesus. That's the other thing we were talking about was your roads are so much smaller and you have so much parking on your streets that like if a car gets stuck, it really does hold up the entire road, right? Whereas in America, because our roads are so much wider, you can kind of have a stuck car and people can usually still get around it. So that also, you have that working against you as well.
Also struggled as the weather closed in. This London to Bournemouth service got stuck, with passengers given space blankets to keep warm.
Happy birthday.
I can't believe it. We're now on the train at 11:56.
We all kind of came together and got into one cabin to keep warm when the heater went down. So one girl actually had gloves on her feet. It was so cold. We got water out and like what food we had left, we got out as well. So we were all trying to, you know, keep each other happy because it was starting to get cold.
Some regions have seen 40 centimetres of snow, whereas other regions have seen just 5 centimetres across the UK.
What is 40 centimeters? I have to do it. I have to figure it out. Hold on. Centimeters to feet. 40. Oh, it's like 1.5 feet. Okay.
And what's happened is you've got this very cold, dry air coming across from Scandinavia to the UK, and it moves across the North Sea, which acts as a moisture source, which is what we need for the snow. Now, parts of Kent and East Anglia, some of them saw 20 centimetres of snow, and that's because the air that was moving across there had a very long sea track, and that allowed the air to gain more moisture and dump much more snow.
But there was time to enjoy the snow too.
Alright, that's clever. The snowblower, that's clever.
And there's plenty more time for fun. The forecast is for more cold weather, at least into next week. The chill of 2018 has broken records, and it's far from over.
I understand why Great Britain was pretty much immobilized because you guys just aren't used to that kind of weather. But that's like a typical storm in America in the Northeast. A lot of those images are actually brought back some memories. We've had snow up to my waist, which is probably 3 to 4 feet. I'm not 6 feet tall. And up to the window in America. It's just normal. I'm just used to it. I'm not even in a really bad part. If you go really far north, Vermont, northern New York, upstate New York, Minnesota, and like North Dakota and places like that, it gets really bad, and it's there for like 4 to 6 months. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys have any personal stories about it? I'm curious.